I call this meeting back into open session. The time is 12:42. Mr. Morales, according to the agenda, you had some recommendations or possible action on contracts or personnel?
Yes, I recommend that we hire the below personnel as a chief financial officer on a one-year contract, non-certified administrator's contract for the 21-22 school years, beginning October 1st, and that's Brittany Mraz. That's who I want to.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? All those opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 6-0.
Next recommendation is to hire the below personnel as an assistant principal at Wright Elementary School on a 2-year certified administrator's contract for the 21-23 school years, and that is Kat Broom.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, now we'll move on to discussion and possible action on quote for softball field renovation.
Guys, what I've done, I've asked Jim to be here because he's been part of the discussion, Jim Powell, for what we're wanting to do on the softball field. You have a lot of information in front of you. A lot of that is the attorney stuff with Fred Stormer, making sure that we cross everything. If you do look at one of the page 4 of the first document, it does have Huseman's signature on that. I have not signed that yet. I won't sign that until y'all approve this project, and then he will actually do the contract and we can move on from there. He also put in there some of the pictures and the drawings of the softball field, because I know people were wondering about the drainage and some of the issues like that, but I can let Jim answer those for you if you have any questions of what we're doing and how we're doing it. Probably the most important thing to you right now is the sheet that's a colored sheet with numbers on it, Perryton softball field, and it says what the projects are and what the cost is going to be, and then also you have some owner allowance at the bottom of it. The bottom line is $236,184 is what the total project would be. So this is a thing we've had, guys. You all know better than I. How long y'all been dealing with this softball project? We went back after our meeting, I want to say a year ago. Maribel, do you remember what that price was? Because I was going to ask you to look that up.
It wasn't on the agenda.
It wasn't on the agenda. I'm thinking when we met over at Williams cafeteria, it was $450,000 is what I thought. So we're down to $236,184, and I just asked. I said, what Jim Powell is offering to do for us and help them and work for them is really saving us, probably close to $50,000 to $70,000 by him doing that. Anyway, I think this is as low as we're ever going to get it if we want to do this project. If you have any questions, you can ask Jim, because he's there and he sat in on a meeting with us on what we're trying to do.
A couple of things first, and I've got a couple for you. On this page that you just tossed out here, backstops 46,942 is 45,942 on here.
I don't know why that's dropped.
Misprint on somebody, although
Yeah.
the 236,184 ties with this, so I'm assuming this
We have
doesn't need to be-
misprinted.
This should be 45.
Yeah.
$20,000 under allowance CONTG. What is that?
It's contingency allowance.
Just a contingency. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that was it, but just want to make sure that my abbreviation was correct.
Yeah, I don't anticipate spending all of it. We are gonna spend some
Probably
of
dove
it.
into it a little bit.
Yeah, and if you also notice on the center section there, he has $10,000 in supervision. That's if he needs it.
Right.
So, his 236,184 essentially has $30,000 worth of contingency.
In other words, he's sending somebody out to inspect the project every so often, and they put
He
in.
knows me.
Yeah. Besides Jim being here, and he says, well, if I don't need it and the project's going, we won't spend all that money. So we'll get that back.
Jim, do you feel comfortable with the pricing here? Because it was, we kind of bid it out before all these price hikes happened on everything.
Everyone got an opportunity to resubmit,
They resubmitted.
Okay.
and we reopened them,
What day was it? It was last week.
it might have been a week from today.
Yeah, I think it was a week from today.
No, it was Thursday morning at 8 a.m., week tomorrow. We reopened the bids.
And Greg was here with us when we did it, all three of us.
And
did it.
nobody,
Same people that were going to do the work initially are still doing the work. There's a little bit more money. Steel has gone up.
yeah.
Wood, everything.
Everything's gone up.
Everything's gone up.
Does this take care of the drainage? This particular project will
Yes, sir.
take care of the drainage problem?
Guaranteed.
Can I jump in here for a second?
Jump in here, Richard.
Yeah. Just because the screen's black doesn't mean it's God talking. But you know how I feel about this project. Is there any way to split this? We've spent other people's money trying to fix the drainage on that field 4 or 5 times. Is there any way to make it 2 parts of a project and try to fix the drainage issue first? We get it done right, and then go on with the rest of the project as a second part of it? Is there any way to do that, or does that not make any sense? Because we've done this in an embarrassing amount of times, quite honestly.
We have.
Actually, this is the first step. This is a wall behind home plate and a cinder block wall going down to 2 cinder block dugouts, which effectively are a dam. And then the concrete gets, the press box right now, the problem is the press box is about 8 inches too low, and all the concrete has been contoured to the press box, therefore funneling the water there. Part of this project is to jack up the press box, pour a new floor under it, set it back down 8 inches higher than it currently is, contour all the concrete away from it and away from the field. So essentially, Richard, this is about the only way you can split the project up and solve the problem.
The second phase of this project, in my mind, is once we fix the drainage issue, then the next phase would be, let's go rework the field and get the field corrected. So that would be the next phase, really. I mean, all this we're doing this time is affecting the drainage.
Yeah, James, can I, and Jim, I apologize, I couldn't hear everything you said there, but I think I got the gist of it. Does the project at this point, and again, I'm out of town, but does the project involve drains? Are we providing some French drains or something? That was one of the original suggestions about trying to channel that water away from it before it even got to the field.
Yes, but no. It involves funneling the water to plant areas. It's not necessarily a French drain, but it is an absorption drain where trees could be planted or other types of plants could be planted, and the drainage goes into that.
Yeah, it's gravel pits, aren't they, kind of looking?
We have them in this project to be filled full of gravel. However, it's been suggested to me that we might want to plant a tree.
You have to water it.
So yes, but no.
Yeah, these pits, I think, was the second phase. Once we went back to the architects, it was, we had trying to take the water back to that ditch behind the
Right.
dugouts and stuff. Well, that wasn't working, so now they came up with the idea of these pits, that this water will drain into these gravel pits. So we're hoping that solves it.
I had email.
So, I'm sorry, Wes, go ahead.
Go ahead, Richard.
So Jim, so what were the design years doing for $250,000? We are, with the redirection of the water, that's gonna solve the drainage issues into the facilities in the field, is that correct?
It's going to solve the issue of the drainage onto the field. The field drainage has yet to be talked about, but raising the press box up and contouring the concrete, actually in the opposite direction. Right now it drains to the east and it needs to drain to the west. And once it does drain to the west, then that will solve the problem of water running onto the field. You know, unless it rains 4 inches and then
Yeah, I
It's not gonna-
understand.
That's all that matter anyway. Wes?
Yesterday, or day before, I had sent a note. Builder's risk, umbrella liability, and bond are listed on here. What we approved last month said it was his responsibility. 11.3.1, contractor shall obtain at its expense a builder's risk, all risk, or equivalent insurance policy. And on the bond, contractor shall furnish separate payment and performance bonds covering faithful performance of the contract, yada, yada. Why is he charging us for the things that we already signed that he would pay for?
I think that's, was it 6 or what percent was that above the cost of what the project was? I think that's part of that.
Part of his 6%?
Part of it is 6%.
Math doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm not guessing, I'm just
I've
guessing.
already done math. The math doesn't work on that.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I know we gotta have that. I mean, that was Fred's big deals of,
He has to have it because he says he'll have it.
yeah,
We don't have to pay for it.
yeah, but he put that as part of the,
Yeah, I know.
as a.
This is what we
You did
passed.
read that, yeah, you read
This is
that.
what we passed, and this is what he sent to us to pass. We didn't write this and send it to him. He said he would obtain builder's risk. He said he would pay for the bond. And he's charging us for the bond and builder's risk in here.
Well, we can question that.
And I wish we would, you know, because that's,
Was that your understanding, Jim?
well, I mean, normally that would be true. But also in a normal project, at the end, the bottom line of the project goes in is profit and
Yes.
motivation and all that
It
stuff.
does.
And from that comes these things you're talking about. In this particular case, there is none of that profit going in at the back side. He's not trying to make money on this, he's just trying very, very hard not to lose money.
you know, he's charging us $10,744 for something that contractually, he said he would pay for.
Yeah. I think that's probably a stereotypical contract that he.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Here's the stereotypical contract. This is amendments to the general conditions of the contract. These are specifically written amendments for this project.
I've not ever seen that, so.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
because the original template contracts are on the back, and then we have amendments to the contracts.
You know, here's what Greg told us in the meeting the other day, is that at most, he would be making 5% on this whole deal. I mean, he said, I'm really taking this risk for 5%. And he goes, I really wanted to do this for you because he's hoping, and y'all know as well as I do, that if we ever decide to do a high school or any other deal, that he's staying in with us so that we'll use him next time.
And I don't have a problem with that. I think Greg's a good guy. I think he did us a heck of a good job at the junior high. And saying he's only making 5%. This says he was going to make 6.
Yeah.
That's not that much of a give up
Yeah.
if he's saying 5 versus 6 on this project.
Yeah, well, that's my understanding of it anyway, is that's what that was gonna be, but you're right, it's in there.
I am 100% in favor of doing this project, don't get me wrong. It's little things like this that just, come on, man. If you said you weren't gonna do it, don't put it here.
Mhm.
Tuck it into somewhere else if you wanna make another dollar, but don't put it in something so blatantly opposite to what the contract said.
And he read the contract, because Fred's the one who drew the contract. And he signed it because he signed off on this, whatever AAI document. Yeah, he signed off on that, so. I don't know, if y'all wanna table this, we can table this and then,
We need to get moving. but I do, and I would be even willing to make a motion on this with the proviso that you guys talk to Jim and say, what in the world? You said you weren't, and then you did.
Yeah. According to our contract.
According to the contract we approved last month.
Yeah. We can do that. I can do that. That's not
Bring it up at the next meeting.
No, I'd be willing to make a motion to accept it today,
today.
but.
Oh, okay.
With
the
me,
proviso
with
that we
my
address
condition to ask
issue
that.
Okay, all right, okay.
With them, because
They would, Jim's ready to start
the
pretty
more we
quick.
push it off,
I agree,
the longer
I
the we
agree.
get on. Like I said,
All right.
I am totally in favor of the project. It's just, it's little stuff like that nickel and dimes us to do
Yeah, I
the
agree.
project. You know, it's $10,000.
All right.
Yeah, for that insurance.
Please spend
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Any further discussion? If not, do I hear a motion?
That was mine.
Your motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All
No.
those opposed? We have one nay vote, 5-1. Okay. Mr. Morales, do we have any other business?
I think that was all that was on the agenda.
Not, I declare this meeting adjourned.
1 o'clock.